You have been chosen to spend 50 days in the Immaculate Room and will win $5 million by completing the task. If one of you leaves, the prize money drops to $1 million for the person that remains. Enjoy your stay in the Immaculate Room.
A young couple, Catherine and Michael, accepted a lucrative offer to participate in the experiment. All that is required of participants is to spend together in the same room for 50 days. The prize will be the sum of $5 million. Michael and Kate discuss with great enthusiasm how they will spend the money. The girl doubts that all this is true because the conditions are too simple and the reward is too great. Michael assures her that they were just lucky. Sometimes it happens and they just need to relax and enjoy it. There is nothing in the room but a bed, a bathroom that, as it turns out, is designed for one contestant at a time, and a control module through which they can learn about the rules of staying in the room and get specifically designed meals. Automatic lights out at 10 o'clock. Kate also set a 7 a.m. wake-up call. All these conditions for the couple seem like a mere trifle, because the reward more than covers all the inconvenience.
Good morning, Kate. Enjoy your stay in the Immaculate Room.
The next day they put their old clothes in the chute, and in return they get another, to which Michael says now they look like mental patients. Catherine wonders why he is doing all this. He is a certain Professor Voyan, who is the founder of this project. As Michael says, earlier this same professor found some unremarkable family in Middle America. The dad was a pastor, the mom did bake sales, the kids went to the only school in town, and then he spent $150 million to see what would happen if he made them famous like Kardashian. The professor did everything for them: Hollywood publicists, stylists, any whim for his money. At first it all worked. The kids got huge modeling contracts, the dad guest starred on sitcoms, commercials and TV shows, and the mom became a spokesperson for oatmeal. But then she shot him after finding him in bed with another woman and went to jail for murder. The son just disappeared and the daughter died of an overdose of some nasty stuff. Almost 2 days have passed. Michael starts saying he hates the clock, that it seems to have gone backwards. It begins to seem to him the seconds are longer than usual, about 1.3 seconds longer than normal seconds. 50 days in the end could turn out to be about 3 months. To which Catherine says day 2 is a little too early for conspiracy theories. They just need to relax and should not watch the clock for a long time.
Good morning, Kate. This is your wake-up call. Enjoy your stay in the Immaculate Room.
The morning wake-up call that Kate set up and which cannot be turned off begins to irritate Michael catastrophically, but he has no choice. A day passes, genetically modified food, the Immaculate Room, nothing changes, day, food, white room, day, night, room, food, nothing changes, room, and nothing, and suddenly Michael finds the bug. Seemingly ordinary bug, but what could be better? In a room where there is nothing, Michael decides to feed it.
Food is only for contestant consumption. Enjoy your stay in the Immaculate Room.
Realizing he should not do that, at some point the guy says that he needs to let it outside. Michael starts talking on the camera that he is not going to leave the room, he will just open the door and set the bug outside, to which Kate says it's a bad idea. Suddenly Michael starts telling his girlfriend that compassion has never been her strong suit. Catherine says that Michael is vegan only because he wants to prove something to someone. Michael argues with her and tells her that in this world you can exist just fine and eat without killing anyone. The girl absolutely disagrees with this and tells the guy that his problem is that his father gave him too much, which is where his stupid arty does came from. As a result the couple argues and Catherine accidentally steps on the bug. Time goes by, however not as fast as they want. Michael tells his girlfriend that he decided to take a treat. He read in the rules that everyone can take up to 2, but it will cost $100,000 from the prize money. Next we see Michael gets a green crayon as a treat, while donating the sum of $100,000, to which Catherine says that this amount will be deducted from Michael's share. Having received a crayon, the guy willingly takes up a case and begins to paint all the walls of the white room, and at some point Catherine asks to draw her. Michael offers to draw her image through the eyes of an artist, but the girl wants a natural portrait. As a result, Catherine says that Michael just can't draw her naturally and he is engaged in nonsense, thus offending her boyfriend again. After the crayon ran out, boredom comes again. Kate realizes that she was overreacting and apologizes for acting like a real bitch. The situation begins to escalate after Catherine finds a loaded gun in the bathroom and begins to say that they are just being bullied, while hinting that they will have to use it sooner or later. In the end, not having figured out how to get rid of the gun, they throw it under the bed. The next day, Michael unexpectedly receives a video message from his sister, in which the guy's sister says too much, laughs at the fact that Michael decided to drag himself into this room, and says that he rather did the right thing, deciding to distract from Kate in this way. Right after that, and Kate gets her message from an elderly man, the girl reacts extremely negatively and says she does not want to hear it. An elderly man tells that he is in a shelter, that he is doing okay, and begins to sing a children's song, talks about the fact that he loves Katie very much. The next day, the girl confesses that she lied to Michael about her father. She is ashamed of him and there are good reasons for that. As it turns out, Kate's father drank away their house and school fees, depriving the girl of the opportunity to grow up to be a normal person. Catherine gets depressed about her father's situation, and Michael almost goes crazy with idleness. Trying to cheer Kate up leads nowhere, and at one point Michael says that he does not think he can do this. Catherine begins to worry that Michael will give up and tells him to take the second treat, which will already cost $250,000, and this treat turns out to be a naked girl, and here comes the fun part. When Catherine comes out of the shower, she sees a fully naked girl, and Michael starts making excuses, even though he is not guilty of anything. The girl introduced herself as Simone and tells that he is not aware of the Immaculate Room. The agent found her a job and one of the conditions of the contract was full nudity. Catherine starts to feel the most jealous. She sees that Michael, though, does not show it, but pays a lot of attention to another. The situation is aggravated by the fact that the new guest has nowhere to sleep. The guy says he will sleep on the floor and the girls will sleep together, but Simone says it is crazy because the floor is concrete. The next morning, Catherine was glad that the girl had left the room, however, meets her in the shower. This whole sad jealousy situation goes on until Kate says she wants to have fun, and the room gives them pills, after which they go Breaking Bad. All the thrash happens until Michael is completely cut off. He sees a drowning child he can't save. Michael wakes up and Catherine calms him down, saying it is just hallucinating. Next, we learn that the child he sees is Michael's younger brother. He was asked to look after him while his parents were away. As a result, the child fell into the pool. Michael dove in after him, but he could not save him. Having come to his senses, the guy starts a conversation with Simone. He begins to share his experiences with her and tells that the loss of his brother was a great psychological trauma for him. The girl tells him about how she lost her mother, that many people face such difficulties in their lives and experience the loss of their loved ones. At this point, Catherine wakes up, she finds them holding hands and becomes jealous again.
Oh, do you always hold hands when you talk?
Kate, wow. She wasn't trying to do.
The girl starts to insult Simone, and eventually Simone, to spite Kate, says that there maybe have been something between them. The next day, Catherine does not find Simone and is finally glad that she left the room, but then discovers the inscription on the wall: "No one's ever made love to me like that before." Michael immediately starts saying it is nonsense and that he did not sleep with her. Kate says that Simone looks like his ex, and no wonder he coos with her so nicely. Michael explains to her that this is the room. The organizers are messing with her to get this reaction out of her, to which Catherine replies that there are no emotions, that he slept with Simone, making her jealous. Completely losing her mind, Kate pushes Michael, and he hits his head on the corner of the wall. The girl immediately rushes to him and apologizes that she did not want this and that it was an accident. Michael begins to tell that he never gave her a reason to be jealous. He gave up everything for her. He stopped talking to his rich friends and got only reproaches and jealousy in return. After Michael starts saying that he needs medical attention, Catherine tries to explain that they don't have that option. If he leaves the room, then it will all be over. Upon hearing this, Michael asks her a key question, asking her how far would she have gone, would she let him bleed out if he passed out. He tells Kate that she has completely lost her head over money, but the girl denies everything. Then Michael offers to leave the room together, but we see that Kate is more determined to get money than to give medical care to Michael. Michael tells her it is not a room, it is a mirror. Professor Voyen set all this up to show them and to test their morally and spiritually, and they failed this test. Money won't help them anymore and they need to get out of here. After Michael tries to leave, Kate grabs a gun and threatens his boyfriend that she will shoot, to which Michael says that he does not believe Kate is capable of it. Eventually Catherine decides to shoot only at the ceiling, and Michael, realizing the whole essence of his girlfriend, leaves the room.
Goodbye, Michael Walsh. We hope you enjoyed your stay in the Immaculate Room.
Next we see Kate continue to be alone day after day, hoping to get the rest of the money. On the clock we see that there are 2 days left until the end, and Catherine heads for the button. After a while Michael meets his now ex-girlfriend Kate on a jog. He says they have not seen each other in a while and offers her to walk. Michael asks if she eventually got the money for participating in the Immaculate Room, but Kate does not answer his question. At the end we are shown a plaque on the building from which Catherine came out, with gratitude for an anonymous donation, hinting to us that the girl did not leave the room after all, having received the rest of the prize money.